I want to start this part off by thinking back to the bit where the flashback of Barnum is used to oust Darklaw. Knowing what we know about the ending, part of me just have to wonder if that was Takumi writing in a bit of an offer saving throw and throwing Barnum a bone. And possibly tied into what they originally had planned for the ending.
Well, bone's probably all Barnum's gonna get now he's in his prison cell.
Again, trust me audience, we're going somewhere with this, but far be it from us to spoil the fun before we actually get to it.
If you can call it that.
Anyway,
So
without further...
the Dawn of Justice properly portion of the Phoenix Riders of Professor Layton.
Without...
things get resolved if one of the two says the name Martha.
I don't think we've run into a character called Martha.
Well, Layton's mom's name, well, the adopted mom at least, is called Lucille. Do we know Phoenix's mom's name?
No, again,
well,
I mentioned this in one of the early parts. It's still weird to me that despite all this much we're into the franchise, we still know almost nothing about Phoenix's parents.
Keep in mind, as far as we know, his parents are alive. He doesn't have any family drama like almost everyone else in the series does. Anyway.
I think this is Phoenix, maybe?
Meyer, I think.
It's Meyer, go on.
Remember how the professor was supposed to show up with decisive evidence? Well, nope. He did something else. We had Darklaw on the ropes. I mean, we totally drop-kicked her argument into space. We just needed a bit more...
Well, Darklaw sucks.
It's definitely Maya.
Yeah.
I'm the Inquisitor now, but Darklaw sucked anyway.
But then the professor burst in saying that he would be able to prove Spella is really the Great Witch Bazella.
I've taken
wait, hang on. How I trust the Grand Inquisitor will have objections to someone just bursting in and saying, I'm the Inquisitor now.
Remember, Darklaw is now at the witness stand. The judge suggested that someone else is to take her place.
Pretty much.
There's no way we can give up now. But what do you do when you're up against someone like the professor?
I assume the reason they're allowing this is because he officially qualified as an Inquisitor when he passed Riddell's test back in the library, and news of that must have gotten around.
Jovah. That's the thing. Remember, the court didn't knew that Layton is still alive until this point.
It's like, weren't you dead? Hello, sir?
Yeah.
Granted, the vigilantes sure did not act all well on that.
What are you doing? What am I doing,
mom.
Mr. Wright?
My mom's not even in England or this book.
I did it years ago. Why do you think you were
My
born?
only concern here is the truth. The truth?
Yeah, that's the headcanon. Layton is Phoenix's dad.
The real identity of the Great Witch, Espella Cantabella.
Okay, we have an idea of who his mom might be, thanks to Ghost Trick, but not sure about the dad.
On opposite sides of the courtroom. Then so be
So that would be one heck of a hat trick if it turns out Phoenix actually is Layton's son as well.
With everything you've got, Mr. Wright.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Lawyering Primetime tonight! It's the Blue Knight with the spiky hair, Phoenix Wright, versus the man in the dark silky top hat, Professor Layton, with a surprise heel face turn!
It's the big match for the World Heavyweight Championship.
Wait, this is a wrestling match?
Yes.
Now,
Alright then, let's get ready. Actually, I can't say that.
as long as I remain on the witness stand, I am no longer High Inquisitor. Simply Darklaw will say.
So all we had to do was glue her to the stand and then ban there's no High Inquisitor to fight.
Man, Layton's pulling off one heck of a heel turn, eh, Dwibs?
Right.
A moment ago...
Just doing that for the sake of Saigon.
A moment ago, we established that you were in fact present at the bell tower during the time of the incident. That makes a total of 3 people at the scene. Quite a difference from how this night started off.
It would appear that was the case.
So you admit it! Huh. However, you managed to stay hidden from the 10 different guards.
Well, I mean, a baby can hide from them. The Iron Giant can hide from them, and they won't notice him.
With the help of this right here.
The robe of invisibility.
Mm-hmm. In other words, there is every reason to be suspicious of your actions tonight. Which means it's your turn to be the one suspected by everyone.
Oh, sure, blame the Catwoman.
Lady Darklaw, while I cannot believe you would deceive us in such a way,
Oh, you have no idea.
I ask that you tell the court what happened at the time of the incident.
Very well.
Yeah. Here we go.
Witness testimony. What happened tonight?
The town square was to be the parade's final stop. I patrolled the perimeter to ensure nothing was amiss. As I passed by the bell tower, a pair of small footprints heading inside caught my eye. I went inside to investigate. I had my own reasons for not allowing any of those vigilantes to see me.
They suck.
I mean, yeah.
I climbed the stairs of the bell tower and saw an intruder inside with their back turned. I proceeded to apprehend them.
You apprehended the intruder?
What a marvelous service.
While I hold the position of High Inquisitor, there are often times when I must partake in various secret tasks, unbeknownst to the citizens of Labyrinthia.
All
No
for the
one
greater
expects
good,
her
of course.
That point.
One of those tasks being ensuring the security of the storyteller.
Oh,
I got Toby.
responsible.
I
What
got
a
Toby into
fantastic
that.
job you did.
Oh, it's me.
So you should be arrested. You should be arrested for neglect.
Well, technically,
You're
I
like
guess you
Bob
caught the
died.
culprit.
What the fuck? As such, there is nothing odd nor suspicious about my actions tonight.
That's what someone suspicious would say.
No, you.
I see.
You must be fun at Among Us parties.
No, you
Defender.
one.
You may now begin your interrogation. This is the day where Layton demanded he have no lines of dialogue to remember.
I love how Layton's eyes look like a cold, dead stare in the cross-examination versus pose. Nothing
Well,
was
that's the whole
amiss.
point. In those
Yeah.
screens, it's usually supposed to look determined, so that's kind of the whole point.
The thing is, with his black dots of eyes, he looks like he's giving you a cold, heartless stare. Like, goddamn.
Now you tell me, Defender. Surely you remember the final part of the story.
She must mean the part about the storyteller's death.
Like I said, Jovah.
There is little possibility of changing the outcome what has already been written in the story.
Like I said, Jovah, he knew that people would want these two to go at it in
However,
court, so...
there are still those who would attempt to challenge the story and make an attempt at changing the inevitable.
That is what I too think.
So the culprit is Lucina then?
So, in that sense, Darklaw was trying to stop someone who might try to mess with the story that involved killing the person who she was supposed to protect, but he wrote the story himself to be killed so that it could supposedly save the town and lead it to a new golden age.
Oh, don't I gone cross-eyed.
It's just... look at Kira. She's been looking down in the dumps since the start.
I guess
Well,
being resurrected
you-
from the dead
well,
isn't
you
always the
survived.
best.
Or you survived being nearly burnt to a cinder.
Yeah. Oh, right, Kira. I honestly forgot she was still here.
I mean, Maya kinda did, remember?
Uh-huh.
Not only that, she looks sort of scared too.
Could it be Darklaw's overwhelming presence? You're right.
Something like that.
We can't afford to forget about her.
Is there a spell that makes people forget as well?
Probably.
Probably.
Dementia, maybe see that.
I wonder if Kira has anything else she could tell us.
Or simply a clock around the back of the head.
I've got to remember to question her the second I see an opening. Ah, yes, so that's the kind of magic to cast.
Remember, Shiri, apparently according to these, people's behavior, that's something that constantly extraneous to them.
Those must have been Miss Kira's footsteps from when she snuck into the bell tower, right?
Indeed. The ground outside was quite muddy after the rain, so her footprints were easily visible.
The great thing is that, like I said, Christopher Miller has had plenty of practice from people asking in cons to tell him to say his attorney things in Layton voice, so he's had plenty of practice before he recorded this game.
According to the Vigilante's testimony, they thought the footprints looked like Foxy's, but it turned out they weren't hers.
2 of them are very familiar.
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, to be fair, Shiri, we don't have the technology for, footprint recognition, so this was a blessing in disguise.
My god.
That's right. Her footprints would have contained a mark where her stiletto had been. The footprints I saw at the bell tower contained no heel mark at all.
And you stepped inside those footprints on your way up the stairs so as not to leave your own and risk being detected, correct?
Wait, somebody thought 10 steps ahead, now didn't she?
Literally.
Exactly.
Steps.
That time, my main task was to ensure the safety of the town square.
And you failed.
Well, I guess she technically succeeded in that only the storyteller died and nobody else?
Yeah.
Had the townspeople noticed your presence there, it would undoubtedly have raised some suspicion.
I think her argument is, oh yes, I granted the suspect and everything, but this means that I will occupy both with me and Miss Kira, which means that this fella is still the culprit.
Indeed, so naturally that's why I did not wish to... I forgot what that was.
Make no mistake, Darklaw wants to see a spell go down.
Therefore, it is imperative that I mask any traces of my being there. Even if it meant utilizing another's footprints. Convenient that they'd be the same size, huh?
Well, she walked within them and she's wearing heels herself.
I see. A clever tactic worthy of the High Inquisitor herself.
She's very graceful, then.
Is there anything off about her testimony just now?
Nah.
I can't let the professor catch me off guard.
Boom!
If I'm going to press an issue, I'd better be sure I know what I'm talking about. Just like how I managed to withstand from being startled by that.
A wise decision, Mr. Wright. See,
I
you got your
didn't
hand
say
on the
anything!
God damn it.
Why, Nick? He can totally read you like a book.
You were saying, Mr. Wright?
Okay, everybody does that.
You know,
Listen, the moment you set foot on the defendant's bench, you are completely
seriously,
exposed.
is my face that easy to read, or is everyone just psychic? I thought I was safe inside my mind.
I
No,
thought
you
you
are
were
not.
you are not safe
No.
inside your mind.
Sorry, Phoenix.
God,
Edgeworth would learn this too.
I can't wait to get to the investigations games. And what were those reasons?
They relate to protecting the storyteller. It was something I was to carry out at that particular time.
Although granted you're right, Yuri, as early as Trials and Tribulations, Edgeworth got to see exactly how tough it is for lawyers. Well, defense
Did it perhaps have
attorneys.
something to do with what was already decided upon in the story?
The storyteller's word is absolute. Therefore, any and all those who make an attempt to alter his will must be dealt with immediately.
Yeah, that kind of happened to Layton now that I think about it, and... Hang on!
Let's go, Kira.
Excuse me, Miss Kira. Have you decided if he loves you or not? Witness!
Yes?
Figures. She really doesn't remember her own name.
You can call her anything.
Just say miss or something.
You seem to be deep in thought about something. Did you remember anything regarding the High Inquisitor's testimony?
No, I'm sorry. Nothing in particular.
Then why did you go, huh?
Wait for it.
It's a tick of mine. Sometimes I go,
It's just... I'm a little disappointed in myself.
Oh? The music suggests that we're getting somewhere with this. Disappointed?
Disappointed.
Someday I'll find out what that's referencing.
Hercules TV series with Kevin Sorbo.
I traveled all the way here to Labyrinthia in order to fulfill my mission, but all I managed to do was fall and end up being captured.
This will fail, but I mean, she did fall over.
So basically, you suck at your job.
Both of those things happened.
I'm sorry.
No, I failed.
I can get up.
I failed.
Regardless of your own failure, Miss Kira, the storyteller did die as was foretold, did he not?
Tonight, as the rain came pouring down over the town, I arrived at my designated location.
The reason I went is because I just realized I really suck at my job. I just had this realization, like right now in the middle of the court.
Naturally, the bell tower was surrounded by guards on patrol. 10 to be exact. I was very nervous.
10 guards.
2 simps.
She must be talking about the vigilantes.
Sure. 2 that we know.
True. I guess the others are a lot more professional.
Only the walls of the city could talk.
Just relax, you'll be fine as long as you're wearing this robe. I kept telling myself. Little did I know I was wrong.
I was planning to be the killer, but instead I was the assaulted.
But none of this would have happened if I was just a little bit more careful.
Oh?
Ah!
Enough. I would be thinking more about atoning for your past crimes, less about what could have been if I were you.
He's still trying to wrap his head around what to do with witches that have been burned, hasn't he?
I'll blow him up.
Damn.
Is there anything wrong with Kira's testimony?
Nothing wrong.
Absolutely nothing wrong.
Hold on 1 second. About your testimony, Miss Kira.
It stinks.
No, that's just the burnt remains from the fire. You were thinking to yourself that so long as you had your robe on, you would be fine.
Yes, that's right. I was...
So basically, you were wearing the robe the whole time you were on the top floor of the bell tower. Is that right?
Yes, I had it on the entire time. That is, until I was attacked.
It all changed when the
Kira was
Labyrinthians attacked.
And my robe was ripped off by the wind. Well, I mean, you could say Fire Nation, considering it was a fire dragon that caused all
So
this.
your robe was gone with the wind.
Miss Kira, this is the first time we've heard any mention of this information.
Is that so? I think I must have just forgotten.
You didn't ask.
Yeah, don't ask, don't get.
Your Honor, perhaps we should update this piece of evidence in the court record.
I agree.
Right you are.
No, actually, Wright is the defender.
Lady Darklaw, please continue your testimony. Lady Darklaw.
Already read this. Hold it. No.
Defender.
Hold on.
Wait.
Objection!
I'm waiting.
So the person you saw when you entered the bell tower was actually Miss Kira.
I love how the music didn't immediately stop when you presented it as to catch people out.
Takumi likes to do that occasionally. The only
big
problem
is
with
Witcher.
that is that it would have been impossible.
Dot, 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 dot.
What are you talking about, Defender?
What you say?
Talking about what?
Miss Kira, or should I say, the witness,
Miss Witness.
stated that while she was waiting on the upper floor of the tower, she was wearing her invisibility robe. And you know what that means. Therefore, there's no way Miss Darklaw would have been able to see the witness.
Oh, you're quite right.
You see, I heard her, and then I felt her body and with my hands in there. That's how.
Anyone wearing this
that's how
robe
it
becomes
goes.
invisible.
Yeah, sure, Daredevil. Right, but there is just one particular group that can see anyone dressed in this robe.
And who is that exactly?
Have you not been paying attention?
I get the feeling it comes and goes into his mind. Only residents of the Eldritch Woods are able to see the robe. If you're from the Eldritch Woods, then you'd have absolutely no problem seeing this thing.
Objection.
Objection. So, what you'll say, Mr. Wright, is that Miss Darklaw here actually hails from the Eldritch Woods. Is that correct? And that she knew this girl prior to tonight.
That's right, Professor.
What is this?
The farce.
A most impressive display, Mr. Wright. However, there is one detail that you appear to have overlooked.
Oh boy, here it comes. Something I overlooked?
You say Miss Darklaw saw something she should not have been able to see. However, the truth is that there is one other possibility as to what occurred tonight.
Oh.
Alright.
Did he just say what I think he said?
Yes, I said you're a dummy. It's rather easy to work out. Quite simply, the witness was not wearing the robe in the first place.
Wait a minute.
And your proof of that would be...
What are you talking about, Inquisitor? Ah, it's just like in Ace Attorney 3, I'm playing both the judge and the prosecutor.
Yes.
This witness has proven her memory of tonight's events to be quite unreliable. I
Yeah, this is
believe
a
that by the time she climbed the bell tower, she had in fact already removed her robe.
This is your typical prosecutor tactic. Put the witness's testimony credibility in jeopardy. To dismiss Phoenix's claims. Again, there are plenty of prosecutors that have done this in this series. So,
Is as you say, Inquisitor.
What I do like about this portion of a trial is that it is pretty cool to be playing as Phoenix against the Professor Layton. If you're an Ace Attorney fan, he is like, of course, the obvious final boss in a game called Layton versus Phoenix Wright. If you're a Layton fan, then holy cow, you're in a logic battle against the Professor Layton, so this is intimidating for other reasons too.
It's again, it's exactly Hino knew exactly that people wanted something like this in the game, and they put it there.
Let's be honest, if you put a versus in your title of a crossover, you owe the fans at least a versus. Even if they make up at some point, again, there's gotta be at least one versus. Wait, 1 second! The witness was quite clear with her testimony. Isn't that right, Miss Kira?
See?
Shit.
I'm not sure.
Oh, god damn it!
One fucking time.
I mean, my memory is a little fuzzy.
Why? Why me? No way!
Yeah, if I remember correctly, there was also an instance in Ace Attorney 2 where Francisca also did something similar to this, where she said, and you think this witness's memory is reliable?
Possibly.
It would appear there is nothing more to be gained from this line of questioning.
Also, Pedro, it's kind of as you've said, like off commentary, and I think on it's like Brits just have crap
Your Honor,
memories.
I suggest we return to the cross-examination.
Sorry, what did you say?
It's as you've said before, Brits just have crap memories.
Oh, no, they do.
Phoenix,
I don't-
this is a room
I
full
don't
of
tr-
Brits.
I don't trust Brits to remember anything.
Oh god, so I'm the only- so me and Maya are the only sane people in the area.
Maybe remove Maya.
Maybe.
Maya is, let's call her semi-sane. No matter how you
She
slice
hit
it.
you in a crowbar. She hit you with a crowbar to prove a point.
Yes. And trust me, one of these
No,
days when she needs my help, I'm going to remember about that crowbar incident. And one of these days, I'm just
There
going
you
to
are.
wonder if it's really worth it.
For example, Shiwa, a lot of times I have to remind Dwebs with 8:30 because a lot of times Dwebs forgets about our movie nights sometimes. So.
Yeah, this isn't going to be easy, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Of course.
Again, I'll admit, another thing I do like about this game is that it does give the great sense of progression in the difficulty with the prosecutors, simulating essentially boss fights in a sense here. Like, we started off with the British equivalent to Payne, of course, then we get to Barnum, who's pretty much considered the top inquisitor in town, only to progress to Darklaw, and after finally managing to beat her, now we're on to the man, the myth, the legend himself, Professor Layton.
Yeah, in fact, now that I think about it, this is the Attorney game that has the most prosecutors. We have the British Payne, we have Barnham, we have Darklaw, now we have the Professor, so it's 4 prosecutors.
Sure, yeah, usually we get 3 at most, I guess.
The Spirit of Justice technically get 4.
Let me see.
It is the guy with the purple hair. What I'm guessing is someone else who replaces him at the end. The Black Wheel, and I'm guessing also the...
Oh wait, no. I think that's Dual Destinies you're thinking of. That has 4 prosecutors. Spirit of Justice has, I believe. Oh wait, no wait.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That one technically does have 4 if you count the DLC
forgot his
case.
name.
True, yeah. Okay.
The prosecutor from Apollo Justice, I forgot.
Oh, you know what? Clavier does
Yeah.
sort of show up in Dual Destinies and Spirit of
I'm talking about
Justice.
Spirit of Justice.
He shows up in Spirit
Yeah.
of Justice, but that's only for the Asinine Attorney segment. Granted, it isn't a prosecutorial role, so I guess it technically counts.
Okay, then.
That sort of secrecy is pretty common. Usually they've gotta have a reason or not for disclosing the information to begin with. I hope that when eventually the second trilogy comes to Switch and HD devices that they include the Asinine Attorney segments on Spirit of
Yeah,
Justice, because I
'cause,
love those.
It's funny because I've heard people really hate that bit.
Yeah, some people are split on them. Some hate them, others like them. Me personally, I love the first one. I'm not as big on the second one, but they're both fine. Uh-oh. Yeah, tell me about it.
I have your contract here, Mr. Wright.
I wonder what's up with the professor.
He's like a shark, just waiting.
Something must have happened. There's no way he'd turn on us like this.
I found out he was getting paid more than me.
Grant?
Well, Maya, here's the thing. Maya, as Professor said, he's only here to get the truth, and like we've said, we need an Inquisitor to replace Darklaw, so if anything, he's helping you right now.
Granted, Maya's onto something as well, but surely he must have noticed there's something that doesn't add up with Darklaw's testimony. Maya does have a point, because if you've seen the last story segment in the Layton segment as well, you'll know something's definitely up with this. Granted, I kinda guessed what was going on, but to be fair, in case you haven't yet, just wait and see.
That's right.
Alright. Now let's get down to business. Hold it!
To defeat the Brits.
Those must have been Miss Kira's footsteps from when she snuck into the bell tower,
Which is
right?
funny because Layton's voiced by an American.
Yep.
Yep. Although he's married to a Brit, I believe.
Yeah, but Christopher Miller is as a British wife. So.
Right. According to the Vigilante's testimony, they thought the footprints looked like Foxy's, but it turned out they weren't hers.
Yeah, I think we already covered that bit, didn't we?
They just really want to show her boots.
Well, I guess those boots are technically evidence, in a
Yeah,
sense.
they are evidence. Gotta examine the evidence.
Yes!
At that time, my main task was to ensure the safety of the town square.
There you go.
In doing so, it was of the utmost importance that no one knew what I was doing, whatever.
Yeah, read this bit.
Yeah, the dick sucking.
You want another?
Miss Darklaw, I just noticed something in your testimony that's very relevant to the case. The defense requests you amend your testimony.
You just can't help letting the ridiculous imagination of yours run wild, can you?
May I remind you that you've been saying similar stuff to that prior?
The Inquisition has no objections.
But it is thanks to that imagination that we've gotten to this point.
You know what's interesting, Joe? When I first played this game, and he said that, oh no, by golly, you have to have Layton say objection at some point. Come on, you can't go for this entire trial without Layton objecting to something.
Can
Come
you
on.
even imagine?
That's part of the scary thing. You know he's gonna object at some point. The scary thing is knowing when he's going to do it. Objection!
And as expected, Christopher Miller's objection is perfect.
What I have here is a sketch of the footprints left at the bell tower. So tell me, Miss Darklaw, are these your footprints in the sketch?
No, they're Maya's. Fuck it.
It would appear so. I would never mean to offend the hard work of Labyrinthia's vigilantes, but tonight's tasks were mine, and mine alone.
Sure.
Sure could have saved us a lot of time if you admitted those were your footprints from the get-go. Okay. When you put it that way, I can't help but notice a contradiction.
What did you say?
I know what I said. Miss Darklaw, you stated the following. When you climbed the stairs, the footprints had no heel, so you tried to match your footsteps to them as far as possible. Why don't you show the audience your shoes as well so we can compare? However, if you look at the actual footprints that were left behind, you can clearly see that not only is the heel present, but so is the entire foot.
Sorry, Miss Darklaw, but only you could have opened that locker. Oh, wrong case.
If you were trying so hard to step on the footprints already there, then the footprints in this sketch shouldn't have heel marks. Yeah, if you see Darklaw's full body bit here, her shoes are not like that.
That is very true. Although I do not think such a small detail is of much importance in the long run.
Hold on, Your Honor. Let it grow and snowball into something bigger. I agree it's a small detail, Your Honor, but that's not all I noticed. There was something very telling about Miss Darklaw's testimony.
Telling, you say?
Yeah, it was telling me she's a goddamn liar. She stated that she stepped onto the footprints that were already at the scene in order to disguise her presence. Now, there's something strange there. Specifically,
Strange, isn't it?
why were these footprints left at the crime scene in the first place?
Objection.
Objection,
There
There
it
it
is.
is.
Mr. Wright.
Yes, Professor?
You fucking idiot.
Do you have anything to say that's actually intelligent for this court?
Tell me, can you show the court why this seemingly minor detail is odd?
I can't exactly do that at the moment. You see, the way my games go is that I have to wait for a certain moment of time for that to work.
Who can say whether or not these footprints are indeed worthy of concern? And if it is an issue, then what exactly are the implications? That, above all, is what you must answer, Mr. Wright.
Ditto.
You know,
I do not believe you can assert that this is a blatant, quote, contradiction at this time.
He even says at this time.
here he goes again, flexing that amazing brain of his. Oh, careful, Takumi, your inner Layton fanboy showing.
Isn't it fun, Mr. Wright, when your daddy loves me more than you?
I don't think it's so much that. I think it's more so that Phoenix admires Professor's intelligence.
Besides, Layton, we'll always know that your daddy based you off of me.
There's nothing wrong with Phoenix complimenting Layton, in my opinion.
Oh, no, that's fine. It's just later on it starts getting a bit...
Sure.
How could you simply abandon us? How could you betray us?
My, is the witness about to oust the other witness?
I'm fed up with this world.
Don't shoot yourself!
Betray? Witness? What is the meaning of this?
Betrayed.
Betray.
Lady Darklaw, you are the mistress of the Eldritch Woods.
Whoa!
Well, now!
That came the hell out of nowhere.
That's right, bitch, I'm putting you on blast. You are the one responsible for handing us our tasks.
That would make her the Great Witch from the woods.
That's very awkward.
That came out of nowhere.
This wretched girl is nothing more than a detestable spawn of magic. Her words cannot be taken seriously.
I wonder.
People of Labyrinthia, I ask you, what am I if not the loyal daughter of this town? No, you're lying, Lady Darklaw.
I gotta say, this is an interesting episode of Bridgerton.
When I was waiting up there at the top of the bell tower, I was most certainly wearing that robe.
Oh ho! Now the witness is certain.
We're gonna fight.
Let them fight.
Lady Darklaw, you were also wearing a similar robe, were you not? Don't you remember?
It looks like the subordinate is starting to take a rise to her master.
What nonsense. I haven't a clue what you're babbling about. I simply managed to sneak right by those makeshift guards. It was not the most demanding
only one way of
task for someone like me.
Alright, there's only one way of settling this. Catfight in the mud.
Yes, you're right.
Yes, I am right. Thank you.
Oh god.
Actually, Wright is the one
If you've been sneaking around by yourself.
If you'd been sneaking around by yourself.
By yourself? With this
Enough.
Hey, I haven't finished you.
Man, I'm good. Perfect timing.
Listen to me and listen well. Continue as you are, and I will see to it that this court be the last place in which you ever set foot.
Whoa. Accusation that
Someone's starting to get very hostile.
Red's being a bit sus. Matters not. The end is already nigh.
So Kira's basically, well, if I'm going down, I'm taking you with me.
The end?
Yeah.
Wait, the end is here? We're going to be attacked by a giant moon?
After the events of today,
You're better than an old man, I guess.
Miss Kira, you're saying that Miss Darklaw was not by herself at the time of the incident tonight?
that's right.
Oh ho ho! By all means.
Lady Darklaw was wearing the invisibility robe, and underneath the robe,
Who do we know that has blonde hair?
was a young girl passed out on her back.
Well now. What?
Plot twist, it's not... plot twist, it's Goldilocks.
A girl? Could that be?
It's Goldilocks from Puss in Boots 2.
Yeah,
Paige, haven't told me out here yet.
it was the very same girl imprisoned inside that cage up there.
It's technically out over here.
Also, Luis, by the time this is public, it will be. So.
Not to mention,
Please
Goldilocks
hurry
is
up
part of
with
the
this trial.
marketing.
By the way, my
People
back
know.
is starting to hurt.
Espella Cantabella?
Yeah, the poor girl looks very uncomfortable in that cage.
Very small.
Order! So the accused was carried up the bell tower?
This provides a massive change to things.
My lord, there is nothing left for me to say.
And then she shoots her right in the
She
head.
pulls out a gun. Tis the word of the High Inquisitor versus that of a witch. Tell me, who would you sooner believe?
Well, you threatened her with death a second ago. Objection! Miss Darklaw, you of all people should be aware that this isn't a matter of believing or not believing. I'm afraid those are words that carry no meaning here.
Huh.
Yeah, true. Courts are all about evidence.
The only thing that carries any meaning here within the courtroom is evidence. Don't you agree, Mr. Wright?
You know, the prosecution is surprisingly gelling well with me, so yes. Absolutely, Professor.
That's because this one doesn't have a weird vendetta against you.
Let's not forget, Jovah, one of the primary morals of the first Ace Attorney game, that it's the prosecutor's job to work with the defense to find the truth.
Well, okay, Sherry, it's true for Professor Layton for what you said, Sherry. Dick Layton, on the other hand.
What vendetta could he possibly have against poor Phoenix?
Phoenix is getting paid more than it.
Oof.
Remember,
Okay.
no one still has fixed his window yet.
Yeah, my window's not been fixed yet. I need an equal salary to be able to fix it.
My children are hungry, I need the money.
Well, the problem is, Professor, you're not starring in any games after this, technically, so... Yeah, kinda makes sense you have a lower salary.
Get a job, Phoenix. Or
Look,
Layton.
I have earned.
Sorry.
I have earned my retirement. Okay.
I
Can't
do
let
cameos
Kira's effort
now.
go to waste. I don't care what stands in my way. I'm going to find the truth. My god, I can't believe that Kira of all people is the one illuminating the truth for us all.
At least it's not a mirror.
Well, Amir already did that twice, so I guess he
that's
wasn't going
right.
for the hat trick.
Keeping him away.
Very well, Defender. You may present your evidence. Show us the evidence that proves Lady Darklaw carried the accused at the beltway. I've already don't have photographs.
Take that!
The drawings. Just
There was something in your testimony just now that I'm not buying.
But Shiro, the drawings look different art style-wise compared to that picture.
And that's the footprints that were left at the bell tower.
So how's that picture there?
Did I not just finish admitting that those were my footprints?
Okay, it'd be funny if she accidentally admitted she did it.
Miss Darklaw, you stated the following.
Did I not just say that I did the crime? Oops, shit.
There was no heel on the footprints, so as I ascended the stairs, I was careful to match my footsteps to them as far as possible.
Mr.
I do
Wright,
not
this is
sound like that.
Mr. Wright, this is a trial, not an impersonation rally.
However, the reality is, the footprints pictured in the sketch actually do contain a heel. That means something must have prevented you from being able to tiptoe along the footprints that were already there.
Prevented? Oh, you mean...
Yep. That's right, Your Honor. As right as my name. Miss Darklaw, when you climbed up the bell tower tonight... You must have been carrying Miss Cantabella on your back. Is that correct? She's giving us Belle a little piggyback ride. If you remember, it rained quite heavily tonight. That means the stairs must have been quite slippery. I guess the spell is heavier than she looks? With your two hands occupied, carrying my client, there would be no safe way for you to tiptoe up the stairs without falling. That right there is the truth behind the footprints on the staircase!
Lady Darklaw, you...
How could you? Are you going to try and weasel out of this one too?
Fine, I admit it.
Huh. I guess she wants to be a good sport about this.
It is as you say. Donned the robe and made my way up the tower. But I was not alone. I carried both Espella Cantabella and her little friend up the tower with me.
Oh.
What, the cat? But what, the cat somewhere else?
Now remember, the cat was supposedly with Espella.
That black-furred creature of hers. That thing is nary ever a second from her side.
Well, unless she's trapped in that thing up over the fire.
Oh, she must mean Eve.
Actually, no. Eve was in with Espella at some point in that cage, too.
When I arrived at the top of the tower, I saw this girl already there and called out to her.
And what
If
did
I
you
called
do
out
then?
to her, you mean whacked her in the back?
Yeah. And what did you do then? I gave chase, of course. Ah!
I was very shocked to see the mistress show up in person like that.
Mistress, huh? Wait a minute.
This girl's presence was an inconvenience, so I immediately put her to sleep.
Where have I heard the word mistress uttered a lot before?
The mistress of all evil.
Believe it or not, it's just like you said, Defender. I used what remained of Belduke's medicine to
Put the girl out. That's when Miss Kira put up a fight and pulled this pendant right off your neck, correct?
That's right. Judge is unamused.
I cannot fathom it. That would mean this pendant actually belongs to you, Lady Darklaw.
So, now what?
Huh! I just have one question, Miss Darklaw. How do you
Did you
prefer...
do it?
Why? Why take a spell up the bell tower? Why render her unconscious? And why go through the trouble of sneaking past the guards? It's almost like
Bella
you were
wanted to
trying to
climb up
frame
the
her or
tower.
something. What exactly was your aim in all of this?
I am in no way obliged to answer that question, Defender.
Come on,
bullshit,
don't be a
Bob.
sore loser. What makes you say that?
Simple. Fuck you, that's why. No one has any relevance to the case at hand.
Again.
Not for nothing,
Bullshit,
Darklaw.
Objection!
Not for nothing, Darklaw, but it's the judge and the defense attorney that made that decision, not you.
Objection! Miss Darklaw, you rendered the witness unconscious and locked her up at the top of the bell tower. I'd say that is more than a little relevant.
Objection!
Objection!
For fuck's sake.
Layton, come on.
Your Honor, if I may,
No, you may not.
the Inquisition believes the defense's question to be irrelevant to the current case.
Layton, we literally have her on the ropes here.
You do, I don't.
Oh my god. Wake up, by the way!
The defense has forgot to the very important point.
Your Honor, the prosecution clearly has narcolepsy.
Namely, the point of this, Mr. Wright.
Or rather, it is clearly past the Inquisition's
Well, that's
bedtime.
what it's about.
The aim of this trial is to find the identity of the Great Witch Bezella. Mr. Wright, it's past everyone's bedtimes.
Fuck, that actually is a good point.
Phoenix is trying to get there.
Whether or not
No.
Miss Darklaw locked the witness at the top of the bell tower is hardly relevant to the purpose of this trial.
Technically, he is correct on that. So, yes.
But what if this does help us find out who Bezella is, though?
There is one thing that is very clear. You are a shit ace attorney.
Please.
Neither Miss Darklaw nor this witness could possibly be Bezella.
What?
If either one of the two were Bezella, then there would be no need for them to have used this robe of invisibility.
There's that too. Yep.
They cannot use any magic, therefore it is inconceivable that either of them could be the Great Witch.
And technically, couldn't Espella be innocent either, since she hasn't
Also-
disappeared on us?
Also, they could still do it to purposely muddy the water.
A
Just
rather
saying.
straightforward argument if there ever was one. At the time of the incident, there were 3 people present. Of those 3, 2 used the robe of invisibility to vanish from sight, leaving only one person. Indeed, Miss Cantabella.
Well, again, we kind of know that Darklaw carried Espella up.
With this in mind, the larger question is, as irrelevant, Mr. Wright, who is Bezella?
The cat.
Is that not obvious? The accused, Espella Cantabella, is
The judge is the Great Witch.
Tio, sorry, the cat's too busy being the leader of the Illuminati.
Besides, the accused voice was heard by all the townspeople.
Objection!
Objection!
Excuse me.
Not so fast! I happen to think these witnesses are extremely relevant to this trial.
And I say they're not.
Did you forget about Miss Kira? She supposedly took a one-way trip into that pit of fire over there. And yet
relevant.
here she is, in one piece, testifying that she returned in order to kill the ruler of Labyrinthia, the storyteller. Then, there's Miss Darklaw, who rendered the defendant unconscious and proceeded to transport her up the bell tower. I'd say there's more than enough reason to investigate who these two really are.
To get this at all, do you? Only to discover that they are not, in fact, the Great Witch Bezella.
I'm saying there's a possibility that these two are somehow related to Bezella.
But looking for who is
The idea
Bezella,
here-
not who's related to her.
No, see, the idea here...
The court will now announce its thoughts on the matter.
This
You're
is-
stupid!
See, the idea here is that Phoenix has to show what relation does this have to Bezella herself.
What Inquisitor Layton has stated to be true. However, Lady Darklaw, I have one question I must ask you. What exactly were you hoping to accomplish here tonight?
Pretty
Fuck
much
with
what I
everybody
asked
for the
earlier.
Fuck with everybody for the lulz.
That's always fun.
I asked you something.
I assure you, 'twas not my intent to deceive the good citizens of Labyrinthia.
You know,
That's
you have a
why
lot
I've
of
been lying
you know,
the entire
Dark-
time.
Darklaw, you have a lot of intent that you seem to fail a lot at.
I must now reveal the truth to you all.
Oh, this ought to be exciting. What did
But
she
it's-
say?
You don't think Lady Darklaw is in league with the witches, do you? Look, she's even lagging the frame rate. She is a witch.
Can't be. She was the one that saw to that other witch's demise.
The other witch who you know survived?
Lady Darklaw, are you saying that you're...
I'm not saying anything.
That's right, my lord. I am a shade.
Dun dun dun.
A shade.
You're a character from Sonic Chronicles Dark Brotherhood?
Sure.
Lady Darklaw, will you please tell the court exactly what you mean when you say shade? As in, I am very shady.
Yes, of course. I grow weary of standing behind this bench. I'll tell you all I can.
In song.
Oh.
What the heck is she trying to pull? And how
Just to say
crazy
that
is this night going to get?
You know, Joe. I just what Darklaw just said made me think of something. How come the witness stands never have places for them to sit?
I guess the idea is supposed to be... Okay, given the crapsack nature of the justice system in the world here, my guess is that essentially the idea is that, oh, they can just stand there, because, it should be a nice and quick process here and there. Little did the courts know.
Okay. It's literally called the witness stand. So you think that would be
I get that too.
But
Sorry.
I think it might be a psychological mechanism, as in it adds a level of stress which might prompt someone to confess.
That could be, yeah.
See, the reason I'm asking is because when you take a look at Western courts, they all the witness always sits on that little stand that's right to the side of the judge, right? But in these games, it's always just this one place where all the witnesses are sitting right next to each other. So, like a Darklaw should just say, "Hey, how come nobody gives us anything to sit?"
I never thought about how horrible this was.
Awkward Zombie made a comic on that. Because of course she did. Anyway.
No, it's because they need all the money for the desk fund.
True.
Can't afford chairs. Not in this economy.
Say what you will about desk slamming, Darklaw just slams her claws right into the desks, like...
Her gauntlet glove here.
Yeah.
So, tune in for the next part where, surprise of all surprises, the night gets even crazier.
Hooray.
Hooray.
Yeah.
See ya.